acted like you knew nothing about Project 2025, and this bill is an effort to try to implement it into law. So you mentioned credibility issues. I think it exists on the right side of this chamber. Now, not only have you gone after Medicaid, not only have you gone after Medicare, in this,
you are to direct your comments to the chair.
Mr. Speaker, you know what's interesting is that every time I've come on this floor, I can use sharp language, he can use sharp language. You choose to admonish me. I don't work for you, sir. I work for the American people.
I understand. House will be in order. As I said, Mr. Leader, we've been very patient. Just listen to the majority leader of the other side who directed all of his comments to the chair. It is important for the decorum of the institution for you to do the same. You may proceed.
We can continue this.
You may proceed.
And every time I'm interrupted, that's going to add another 15 minutes to my remarks.
Fair enough.
Mr. Speaker, so what we've seen is the largest cut to Medicaid in American history, an effort to devastate Medicare. And of course, what this bill also does is strip away some of the coverage provided by the Affordable Care Act. Millions of people will lose their coverage as a result of this GOP tax scam. And so when you aggregate the assault on health care that's taking place, what we're likely to see is at least 13.7 million people are going to lose their health care in the United States of America. That's what we're fighting for. That's why we're a no amongst several other reasons on this bill. It's an assault on the economy, an assault on health care. It's also an assault on nutritional assistance. Now, in the 1960s, the American people were shaken up and disturbed by images that they saw after some investigations exposed the conditions of some people in America who were dealing with intense hunger in rural America, in under-resourced communities, in communities of color. Images of children with distended bellies, families rummaging through garbage in order to find food so they wouldn't starve. That's what eventually led to the creation of what is now the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance. Of faith on both sides of this chamber. I'm not one to question anyone's faith. But I do think we have to ask the question, particularly when you study the gospel, and the gospel in particular of Matthew 25 and 35 through 40, where Jesus talks about the importance of standing up for the least, the lost, the left behind, the poor, the sick, the afflicted, the homeless, the people who are confined, strangers in a foreign land. That when you know the gospel, when you are charged with trying to live the gospel. It cannot be the case that one goes to synagogue or one goes to the mosque or one goes to church, as I do, but one goes to church to pray on Sunday and then comes to Washington, D.C. to pray on the American people the rest of the week. P-R-E-Y. Can't pray on the poor, pray on the sick, pray on the afflicted, pray on our children, pray on people with disabilities, pray on our veterans who serve this country, and project that that is consistent with the faith that I at least know, anchored in Matthew 25 and 35. So, Mr. Speaker, I think this, in some ways, is a sad day here for this institution. James Madison, one of our great thinkers, I believe it was in Federalist 51, talks about Congress at its best should function as a rival to the executive branch, serve as a check and balance on the out-of-control impulses of an executive that may emerge from time to time. Congress, according to James Madison, at its best, would serve as a rival to the executive branch. But unfortunately, our House Republican colleagues haven't followed the vision of this Madisonian version of democracy because you have consistently proven to be nothing more than a rubber stamp for Donald Trump's extreme agenda. And the American people are paying attention. The American people are paying attention. So I think that when the story is told of the 119th Congress, when the votes are ultimately cast on that first Tuesday in November next year, that this day may very well turn out to be the day that House Republicans lost control of the United States House of Representatives. Because the American people are paying attention. They are smarter than you think. And they know when they are being hurt. They know when their interests are not being served. And they know when they have been lied to and deceived. You see, they know that Congress was meant to be a separate and co-equal branch of government. We don't work for President Trump. We don't work for J.D. Vance. We don't work for Elon Musk. We work for the American people. That's what House Democrats are all about. And because we work for the American people, we will continue to stand up for an economy that's affordable and makes life better for hardworking American taxpayers. Will stand up for Social Security, stand up for Medicare, stand up for Medicaid, stand up for nutritional assistance, stand up for our children, stand up for our veterans, stand up for our seniors, stand up for our families, stand up for the American way of life. That's what House Democrats will continue to do. We will stand up today, stand up tomorrow, stand up this week, stand up next week, stand up this month, stand up next month, stand up this year, stand up next year, stand up at all times until we end this national nightmare and restore the American dream for every single person in this great land from sea to shining sea. Vote no. I yield back.